Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. Today, we are diving into the world of Formula One, and we've got this article from Mundo Deportivo that's got some people raising eyebrows.
Yeah, a little bit.
It's about Carlos Sainz Jr. and his recent move to Williams. It's got a lot of people talking.
It has. It's a bit of a head-scratcher, if I'm honest. Sainz just left Ferrari, right?
Yeah.
A team that's always a contender for the championship. And now he's at Williams, a team that's, well, let's just say they've been having a tough time lately.
Yeah, it's definitely not the kind of career move you'd expect from a driver who a lot of people consider to be one of the best out there. So what's the story here? Why would Sainz make this move?
Well, the article dives into Sainz's reputation. He's known for working incredibly hard. And here's a really interesting thing. They point out that the teams Sainz has been on actually see improvement after he leaves.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. It's almost like he's leaving behind this recipe for success, you know? What do you think could be behind that? His influence on the team's overall culture, maybe?
That's the big question, isn't it? The article quotes James Vowles, the team principal at Williams. And it sounds like he's already seeing this Sainz effect. He said, "It's not a coincidence. He's a hard worker. He gives it his all. He wants us to be a success."
So Vowles is definitely noticing something.
Yeah.
Could it be something more specific, though? Does Sainz maybe give really in-depth technical feedback that helps the team develop the car even after he's gone? Or maybe he sets a new standard for how hard everyone works and the team just sort of adopts it.
Those are really good points. It would be interesting to know more about the specifics, but unfortunately the article doesn't really get into that much detail.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's not just about raw driving talent, it's about pushing the whole team to be better.
Absolutely. And speaking of pushing forward, Williams finished second to last in the 2024 constructor standings. So for those of you who might be new to Formula One, the constructor standings are like the championship for the teams, basically.
Right.
So Williams definitely have a lot of catching up to do.
Absolutely. This is a huge challenge for Sainz. He's used to being at the front of the grid. Now he's with a team that's fighting to get out of the back.
So is this his chance to prove he can bring a team back to the top? Or is it more about leaving a legacy, showing he can make any team competitive?
That's a tough one to answer. It could be a bit of both, I suppose.
Yeah, and don't forget that statistic we were talking about, teams getting better after Sainz leaves. It makes you wonder if he's trying to build something at Williams that'll last long after he's gone.
That's a really interesting thought. It adds another layer of strategy to his career choices.
So for everyone listening, here's something to think about. What do you think this move says about Sainz's ambitions and his long-term goals in Formula One? Do you think he truly believes he can win a championship with Williams? Or is this about something bigger than just trophies?
It's like he's trying to create a dynasty almost, you know? A team that's always up there fighting for championships year after year. That kind of ambition you don't see every day.
Yeah, he could have stayed at Ferrari, you know? Played it safe, maybe gotten a few more wins, but it seems like he's not content with just being a good driver.
Yeah.
He wants to be a part of something really special.
You gotta respect that. He's not afraid to take a risk, you know? Step outside of his comfort zone.
For sure. It would have been easy to just stick with a top team and rely on his natural talent. But this move to Williams, it's a statement. He's not afraid of a challenge.
It reminds me a bit of Lewis Hamilton moving to Mercedes back in 2013. Nobody really knew it was going to happen. Mercedes wasn't exactly dominating back then, but look what happened.
Well,
Hamilton took a chance, and together they built a dynasty.
That's such a good comparison. It really shows that sometimes taking a step back can actually launch you forward in ways you never even imagined.
And don't forget, Williams is a team with a lot of history. They've won multiple championships. Some of the greatest drivers of all time have driven for them. There's a certain prestige that comes with that name.
Yeah, it's not just about bringing a team back to life. It's about restoring your legacy.
Exactly. And it brings us back to that interesting statistic about teams getting better after Sainz leaves. It's almost like he sets the foundation and instills this winning culture.
Yeah.
And the team just keeps benefiting from it even after he's gone.
So maybe he is thinking long term. Maybe he sees this as a chance to leave a real impact on Williams, you know? Set them up for success for years to come.
It's a fascinating possibility. It suggests a different kind of ambition, not just personal ambition, but this desire to build something bigger than himself.
Okay, but let's be real for a second.
Yeah.
Williams has a long way to go to catch up to the top teams. They need more than just Sainz's work ethic and a positive attitude.
Yeah.
They need to build a competitive car. Make smart strategic decisions.
Absolutely. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
But you have to admire Sainz for believing in this team's potential.
And maybe that's what makes this whole thing so exciting for everyone listening. You're seeing a driver at a turning point in his career taking a big gamble and trying to make history. It's a story that's still being written and one we'll all be watching closely. It's a big risk, for sure. For Sainz, it's his reputation, maybe even his chance to win more races in the short term. And for Williams, they're putting a lot of faith in a driver who might not turn things around immediately.
Exactly. It's high stakes for both of them. But the potential reward is huge. If Sainz can pull this off, if he can actually help Williams get back to the top, it would be one of the most incredible comebacks in Formula One history.
It really would. It's funny because on the surface, this move seems like a step down for Sainz, right? Leaving a top team for one that's struggling. But when you really think about it, it might be the most ambitious move of his whole career.
I think so.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of confidence, a real belief in yourself. To walk away from a comfortable position and take on a challenge like this, Sainz is basically saying, I'm not here to just be a part of things. I'm here to build something amazing.
And that's what makes this whole thing so interesting for everyone listening. We're not just talking about lap times and car performance. We're talking about ambition, about legacy, about that human drive to push beyond what anyone expects.
It's a reminder that in Formula One, sometimes the biggest victories happen off the track. In the garage, in the design rooms, in the minds of the people who are dedicated to making a team the best it can be.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Carlos Sainz Jr.'s move to Williams, we want to leave you with one final thought. Think about what this decision tells us about him as a driver and as a competitor. What does it say about his vision for the future of Formula One? And even more importantly, what does it inspire you to achieve in your own life?
Because at the end of the day, this story is about so much more than just racing. It's about taking risks, chasing dreams, and leaving your mark on the world in a way that goes beyond trophies and awards.